Hello, I'm Finola Burke from Research as a Service, and welcome to our 2022 Outlook series. In this session, we're focusing on Australia's only listed CAR T cell technology company, Chimeric Therapeutics, ASX ticker CHM. And joining us is CEO Jennifer Chow and my colleague John Burgess. And John, I'm passing the baton to you to open questions.
Thanks, Finola, and thanks, Jen. Well, it's been a bit, we're looking at a 22 outlook, but 21 was a very busy year for Chimeric, and we listed it in just January, but with one indication in glioblastoma with the technology from the City of Hope. And then since then, you've licensed another technology from the University of Penn. You've licensed a platform for natural killer cells from Western Case Uni. And in your two technologies, you're increasing the amount of indications you're looking at where those technologies could perhaps play a part in treatments. So with all those sort of initiatives in mind, perhaps we can go through each of those technologies for 2022 and talk about well, first of all, what clinical stage we're at and the likely readouts we can expect over 22. And let's start with your original indication in glioblastoma.
Yeah, thanks so much, Finola, John. And yeah, it has been, John, to your point, a very busy 2021 for us. We're kicking off 2022 with lots of steam. The first asset that you're talking about, our initial asset, which is the CAR T therapy that we licensed from City of Hope Hospital. It's our chlortoxin CAR T. It's the one that's currently in a phase 1 clinical program. Right before the end of last year, we announced that the second dose level was done. And so that takes us to about the midway point of the trial. And now we're starting to enroll patients on the third dose level in that trial. Throughout the course of this year, we anticipate that the dose escalation, so all 4 dose levels, will be complete. And we'll start to think about plans for the dose expansion of that trial and continuing to move towards the registration path for glioblastoma with it. And then you mentioned on the other piece with chlortoxin is we are in 2022 also planning to expand outside of glioblastoma. We had some great preclinical data at the end of last year that suggests that metastatic melanoma is a really, really strong target for this CAR T as well. And so we are now in the process of putting together what would be a clinical trial design and IND submission to be able to look at studying chlortoxin in melanoma. So yeah, lots going on for chlortoxin this year as we go forward.
Now the Uni of Penn asset, how we placed there?
So the University of Pennsylvania asset we brought in last year, John, in July, and that is our CDH17 CAR T. And that one, lots of excitement about that particular asset as we see that asset moving into gastrointestinal tumors, so colorectal cancer, gastric cancer, as well as neuroendocrine tumors, which are a little bit more rare, but certainly there is a high need for better therapies in that area for people. Right now, our team as well, or in collaboration with the team at the University of Pennsylvania, are working on all of the preclinical data and clinical data that we need to support IND, but we see filing an IND for that particular asset this year in the United States, so we can move that one into a phase 1 clinical program as well.
And the natural killer cell platform, which is a little bit of a variation from CAR T, perhaps you can explain that.
Yeah, so both the other assets that we were talking about, John, are CAR Ts, like you said, and they're both what we call autologous or individualized therapies. And so with those, we are essentially taking a patient's own cells. Those cells are shipped off for manufacturing, so they actually have the CARs inserted in a manufacturing facility somewhere, and then they're sent back to that same patient. The natural killer cell platform that you're talking about that we licensed at the end of 21, it actually is what we refer to as an off-the-shelf or an allogeneic platform. With that platform, we actually use cells that are donated by a healthy donor, and those are the cells that we take and then we enhance either with things like IL-21 or with the addition of a CAR. And those are then actually expanded and we freeze them so that we can then send them off to patients as they need them. So a little bit different. One is sort of more readily available off the shelf and uses healthy donor cells, and the other is individualized very much to that specific patient. So different type of therapy there. So the NK platform, John, that one was a very exciting option for us to bring into the company because it's what we refer to as a technology platform, or another way of thinking about it is it's repeatable. And so anything that we build off that platform, if we build a CAR NK off that platform where we would take our CAR, put it into the NK cell platform and build a therapy from it, we can do that for an unlimited number of CARs. So we can kind of repeat that process for multiple different therapeutics. So really the potential for that platform is unlimited. It really just comes down to how many different CARs can we build in and bring in to collaborate or work through on that platform. So lots of excitement with that one. That particular platform, John, had already been in a phase 1 clinical trial. So we are moving forward with it in development with our CARs. So in 2022, our focus for that platform is really going to be on some preclinical work, on further enhancing the platform, building the CARs into it. And we anticipate it'll be 2023 as we start to move those assets into actually clinic.
And Jen, could you take us through the importance of the just announced 3-year sponsored research agreement with Penn for research being conducted in the laboratory of Dr. Wah?
Yeah, thanks, Finola, for that. It was an announcement we were incredibly pleased to make. So Dr. Wah is the inventor of the CAR T therapy, the CDH17 CAR T therapy that we licensed from Penn, and an incredible scientist that has been focused in this area for 25 years. I think he's been with Penn for nearly 25 years. So that particular research agreement is a 3-year research agreement we've made with him. Part of it is to make sure that the CDH17 CAR T has everything that we need preclinically to get it into clinic. And him and his team are focused on all of that work right now. And then part of it, Finola, is really to look forward and think, how do we continue to develop that? And what are the follow-on therapies that are to come from that? So lots of exciting work. And I think for us, being able to collaborate with Dr. Wah at that caliber and with the University of Pennsylvania, who are, arguably the top academic site in the world for CAR T cell therapy development, it is obviously very important for our continued growth and development.
I guess a final question, Jennifer, is why do you feel that you need so many different technologies under the one house, if you like, under the one roof? What does that give you?
Yeah. So I don't know if you hear it, John, but as a Canadian, what I will tell you, the reference or what pops into my mind is it's shots on goal. Mm-hmm. So that's a hockey reference, but I'm sure it can translate into a soccer reference or something in other ways. But I think essentially for us, what it comes down to is, as a company, I think it's important to have a diversified pipeline. We really want to be able to look at assets in a number of different disease areas, because then we're not really putting all of our eggs in one basket. We're really looking at different opportunities. And as you know, in biotech, if you only have one asset, it can be a really yes or no answer, right? A study comes in and the company moves forward. A study does not come in and the company doesn't. With us, we now have 7 assets in development across 10 different disease areas. So it allows us to really make sure that we have lots of opportunity available for the company to continue to grow, even in the event that one of the studies or one of the assets doesn't continue to move forward. I think we believe they all have incredible promise. It's why we brought them in. We believe they all have the potential to be successful. But I think the diversification in anything that you kind of think about diversifying for yourself is important, just to continue to grow and be able to move forward.
Well, Jennifer, we're looking forward to catching up with you through the course of 2022 to check on Chimeric's progress. Thank you so much for joining us today, Jennifer Chow and John Burgess.